Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's your boy DJ Dodds back with another episode of the Audible, your daily sports breakdown. Excuse me, y'all. This is a little excited, you know what I'm saying? Still kind of nervous over here on the new channel, but hey, we here to do what we do. Shout out to those who have taken time to like, share, subscribe, left comments. Appreciate it. It's all appreciated. Trying to get this channel off the ground, make it do what it do. We're gonna do it the authentic way. No cheat, no shortcuts. Put the grind in, put the practice in. That's what we're gonna do. Give a shout out to those, like I said, who take the time to support the channel. So let's kind of get into it. I'm not gonna hold you long. You know, the show's don't be too long. I like to kind of get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start out with some of the NBA news of the day. First of all, I want to start off with some of the awards. Congratulations once again to Jaren Jackson for winning Defensive Player of the Year. Second youngest defensive player of the year award winner. Congratulations. Same age as Dwight Howard, but just off by a couple of months. So congratulations to him, and also congratulations to another young player, young bull. I didn't see this person winning this award. Is first time this award has ever been awarded. It's a brand new award presented by the NBA, the Jerry West Clutch Player of the Year award. And congratulations to De'Aaron Fox for grabbing that award. Like I said, it's the inaugural award, Jerry West Clutch Player of the Year award. So congratulations to him. And before we get into the breakdown of the games, the ones from last night and the ones that are currently going on tonight, I came across a poll, and I wanted some public feedback, some public opinion. I may do a community post about it. I wanted to know how many people agree with this. It was a recently done poll, a poll done by NBA players. I think it was a total of 54, 60 players at random, anonymously polled who was the most overrated player. Now, in the past, they've kind of done these kind of polls, and it's, people have kind of picked on LeBron, and LeBron has been a winner of this award, not necessarily award, but winner of this poll. So has Stephen Curry. I don't necessarily agree with those assumptions, but this year's pick for most overrated player, it's got me to thinking. And it's got me to thinking that if you tune in, you watch the shows, I talked about this, I want to say last week during the show when I was talking about the Atlanta Hawks possibly looking at moving off of Trae Young. It came out, it was a report that all players on the Atlanta Hawks are available to be moved, to be traded. I don't think ownership is very satisfied with the return they've gotten on the Hawks. But for Trae Young to be picked as the most overrated player, and here's the kicker, is by his peers. Not people in the media, not people who have you've curried favor for, who you have a very good rapport with as far as like media relations. Your peers picked you. Now, typically, sometimes when they do these polls, I don't necessarily agree with who they pick. Sometimes it sounds like a little haterism, a little bias. I don't know. It seems like this year they got it right to me. Trae Young, to me, is much more overrated. Not to say that he's not a good player, and I don't want people to say, or we're saying Trae Young is a scrub. We're not saying Trae Young is a scrub at all. What we're saying is, I think people have this lofty expectation of what his game is supposed to be. And when I'm gonna break it down like this, Trae Young came out, University of Oklahoma, hot shot point guard, came in, and people were already, comparing him to Chef Curry. I'm not gonna lie, probably some of the light skin bias that you may see. But he was a long range, he could shoot the long range shot, had a bit of a flair about himself, fancy passes. I've never looked at Trae Young as a Steph Curry, because even though they have some similarities in their games, the nuances when you watch Steph Curry play, some of the stuff that he's able to do. First of all, for people who've never played sports, you got to do the kind of stuff that Steph Curry is doing as far as like the running, constant running off of screens here, screens there, back cuts, all that kind of stuff. You have to be in fantastic shape. Fantastic shape. Now you don't see uh, Trey Young moving like that without the ball. Steph Curry is one of them guys who doesn't necessarily need the ball in his hands, but I think he's a much more complete player with the ball in his hands than a Trey Young. I think Steph is able to, with enough space, to get to where he wants to on the court without too much problems. But a lot of the offense in Golden State is based on movement, based on moving back screens, back cuts, double screens, that kind of stuff. Running guys ragged. So by the time third quarter, fourth quarter come around, if you've been chasing Steph Curry all night, you're a little bit winded. It reminds me his movement on the court reminds me of Reggie Miller from back in the day, how he was always moving, wasn't staying in one place, wasn't just posted up in the corner, didn't have his hand out waiting for the ball. It's like, I'm just going to keep moving, and eventually I'm going to get open. And I don't need that much space because I'm a great shooter. And I see Steph Curry's game kind of model after that now. Steph is a much better ball handler than Reggie Miller was. But you kind of see what I'm going at with this. So, like I said, I never saw Trey Young as being comparable to a Steph Curry. Steph has got increasingly better each year. I remember when he first came into the league, yeah, he was a great shooter, but getting to the basket wasn't necessarily his thing. I think Steph has gotten better on the defensive end. Not to say that he's a defensive stopper, but he puts a lot more effort into it. And considered, at the age he's at, you would think he would have some drop off in that, but he's a pretty good defensive player. If you watch the Warriors play, defense as a team has been pretty good. So Steph is part of that. So you got to give the man credit. But for Trey Young to be voted most overrated, do I agree with it? I kind of get it. So, the NBA players, like I said, your peers voted at the end of the day. It wasn't the media. Your peers voted. So, congratulations, Trey Young has been voted most overrated player in the NBA. Sorry about that delay. I had to take me a quick sip. For those that know, I like to get on here and talk and, get up here and run in my mouth. Yeah. So let's kind of get into a breakdown of last night's games while we talk about the games that are going on now. I know Celtics are up on the Hawks. And I know last time I checked, the Cavaliers are up about double digits on the Knicks. I think that's going to be a very good game. I can't wait to get back to watching that. But I wanted to get this show in. Celtics Hawks, yeah, good. I missed that. I think Celtics are gonna go ahead and sweep them boys up on out of here. So I'm not gonna put too much effort into breaking down that game, but I will be posting clips a little bit later. But probably the most talked about moment from last night's games: Warrior Kings. Once again, another great game, another back and forth contest. I would say the game was very physical. Very refs let them play. And you don't really see that too much in today's NBA. Today's NBA, they like to score and they like the free movement. And you see a lot of ticky-tack fouls, stuff that wouldn't have been called fouls back in the 80s and 90s. But last night gave me that old school feel. Not today was roughhousing. I'm not talking about Knicks, Heat, old school series. No, I'm not talking about that kind of roughhousing. But they was allowed to get physical. I like the flow of the game, but once again, a great game, man. And shout out to the Kings. Like I said, I have to put more respect on the Kings' name. And boys gonna be a problem. They keep playing like this. And you have to be encouraged if you're Sacramento. One, you have the best road record in the West, going up 2-0 on Golden State. And Golden State is no slouch at home. Very good home record. Always play much better at the Oracle. But I would say Golden State missed out on the opportunity last night. It wasn't the best shooting night for De'Aaron Fox. It wasn't the best shooting night for Sacramento's team, but they got after the defensively. They got after Davion Mitchell with key steals. Sabonis had a good game. Now, speaking of Sabonis, I know MRI came back. He's good to go. Now, let's talk about the Draymond Green situation. Now, first of all, let's call a spade a spade. Dirty play by Sabonis by grabbing him on the leg. Guys can get injured like that, trip, fall, sprain a wrist, break a hand. It can happen at random. you don't want to cause another player or put a player in a position to get hurt. Like when guys go up, you don't want to undercut them, take their legs out from them. But Sabonis with a dirty play. Now, Draymond Green, you have to understand what your reputation is. First of all, Draymond, you have to understand what your reputation is. You're known as a borderline dirty player. You have a history of it, i.e., Steven Adams kicking the nuts. But for you to go, here you go on national TV, all eyes are watching, because this is probably so far the most exciting series thus far. Probably the most exciting series I'm talking about, as far as like good basketball being played. Both teams are in it. Fourth quarters are interesting. Fourth quarters have been kind of tight. And here you are stomping this man in the chest, and then your excuse. Now I think everybody's kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. I do know Commissioner Adam Silver was reported to be at the game last night. Man, Draymond, come on, man, come on. And this is a bad look, and bad look for him. Period. Because I don't think he's coming back next season with the Warriors. They're not even going to be really in a position to pay him. They've already kind of made their big three going forward, which will be Clay, Steph, and Jordan Poole. And can somebody find Jordan Poole for you to be making the kind of money that you're making? I know you got pushed to the bench. Now that Wiggins is back, Gary Payton is getting some of that playing time. But for you to have been playing as poorly as you have been playing, I'm concerned about that going forward. Is this going to be a recurring theme, or you just having kind of off day because you've been shooting very poorly? You haven't really been contributing, and considering what they paid you before the season started, I'm expecting a lot more from Jordan Poole. But back to Draymond, Draymond, you put yourself in a very bad situation. It's already been, kind of speculated that you won't be back next year. Here you are on national TV, and it wasn't the fact you stomped on them was bad enough they ejected you. Then the theatrics after the fact, jumping on the chair, telling the fans to bring it. It's. I know you want to be the villain, but it's better ways to go about it in the moment. So we're kind of waiting to see if the shoe drops. Will Draymond be suspended? If I had to put money on knowing the history of the NBA, because Draymond has been suspended in the playoffs before, i.e. the NBA Finals against the Cavs, I could see Draymond being suspended for Game 3. I thought the news may come down today. I think they're kind of looking at the footage, reviewing some other game footage from Game 1, because kind of like a little entanglement in Game 1 that was reported. But I think Draymond gets suspended. You automatic ejection, flagrant 2. They're just going to go ahead and the extra after the fact. Said it is, getting ejected, going up the tunnel. You want to, get at the crowd. You want to get at the fans. I mean, you've already been ejected. Go ahead, go to the back, save it for the press conference, and keep it moving. So if I had, like I said, had to put money on it, I think Draymond gets suspended. I think that'll be a real big blow, because I thought this might be an easier matchup for the Warriors, but it's turning out to. Partly because we got to put some respect on the Kings' names. This is a much better team, and I think was probably most surprising in this series for me is the depth that Sacramento has that right now Golden State just can't match. Golden State can't seem to find any spark off the bench. Clay's logging huge minutes. Steph's getting a lot of minutes. I expect those minutes to go up in Game 3, go up in Game 4. Seeing as how your team is down 2-0. But hey, Draymond gets suspended, man. I like Draymond. How you doing, Miss VS? Yeah, Draymond better stop. I don't think they're gonna put him out the league, but he here it is, a contract here. Like I said, it's already been speculated. Golden State's not bringing you back due to the money you want to get paid. I think you're undercutting your value a bit. And this is, it's been a bad season from start to finish. We're going to start from the preseason. You knocking out Jordan Poole, sleeping that boy. It's been a bad look, man. It's been a bad look. Now, like I said, if Draymond gets suspended, do anybody give the Warriors a chance of competing in this series? I mean, because you can't go down 3-0. You go down 3-0, it's a wrap. Call the coroner. It's over. It is over. Now I want to talk about the other game that happened last night. Philadelphia, Brooklyn. Much better game in the first half, but once again, talent is kind of winning out. Brooklyn just doesn't have the talents to compete like for 4 quarters consistently against them. So I don't think this series, it maybe goes 5. Maybe goes 5. Maybe Brooklyn gets one at home. Maybe goes 5. I'm not really agreeing with the strategy right now as far as how you're defending Philadelphia. And I would say because Joel Embiid is just such a dominant big man, leading scorer in the NBA, probably a presumptive pick for MVP this year. I think you got to play Philadelphia like you played Shaq back in the 90s. Let him get his and limit everybody else. I mean, they was throwing double teams at him at the top of the 3-point line, trying to get the ball out of his hand. Let Embiid get his, because if you're able to shut down the other players and kind of limit the damage, Embiid's going to get his. But there's no way Maxey should be exploding for 30 plus points. And a lot of those shots, anybody that watched the game, a lot of those shots was just wide open, not a man in sight. It's been, talk of maybe Brooklyn goes to like a zone. I think just I say keep your man, whoever's guarding Embiid, just get ready for a long night. And everybody else kind of locked down. You have the pieces as far as some of the length you have, the Cam Johnsons, the Miles Bridges, the Spencer Dinwiddie. You have enough length to kind of cover the space. Get out to the shooters, stay on the shooters, and let Embiid cook. But don't let Maxey, don't let Harden get those kind of open looks, because eventually you can't. You got to pick your poison. You got to pick your poison. And I would say this with Embiid, let him get his. Let him get his. You don't have a single player that can hold him. Running double, triple teams at him is not helping you, because you're leaving guys wide open, guys who are not known as marksmen, but it's easy to be a marksman when you got wide open shots. Now I know Cleveland, New York is playing right now. I think they're going to have. I know Boston is kind of come out to have, finishing off the Hawks. Probably the game of the night for me is going to be Clippers Suns. Great first game, very competitive game. Kawhi looked like Toronto Kawhi for me, as far as like his mentality out there on the court. I think KD had a great game. I think Devin Booker had a good game. You're gonna have to get somebody from the bench to help out. Clippers showed you in game 1, they got guys that can come off the bench, get buckets. I think Phoenix relied too much on KD and Booker to not only just create the offense, but facilitate offense. I mean, when's the last time you seen Kevin Durant really have a playoff triple double? And guys were healthy. Now, I think the last time I saw him do that when he was in Brooklyn, that's when Kyrie was out and Harden was out. So he had to kind of not only create but facilitate. Like I said, great game. Kawhi is locked in. As you all know, no PG-13. So been reported he's going to be out the first round. Now, if this stretches to 6 or 7, could we see an early return of Paul George in the possible game 6 or game 7 closeout game? Could we see that? I don't know. I don't think Russ shoots as bad as he did in game 1, but I like the energy that he brings. I like the defensive intensity that he showed out there on the court. And hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna put this up. Yeah, I just like to show off some reads. Yeah, I'm him. I'm him. Looking forward to game 2 of the Lakers. Now, speaking of game 2s, Ja has been upgraded to doubtful. Giannis has also been upgraded to doubtful. I think Milwaukee needs Giannis out on the court. I do not think they can beat the Heat without him yet. I think they have the talent to do that, but you stand a much better chance when you have Giannis on the court. And with Ja being out, um, it kind of reminds me of last year when he was out with an injury. Memphis plays very good basketball without him, but with the games that he missed this season, they've been up like a 500 team without Ja on the court. And I think Ja is not necessarily the greatest shooter. He's not really known as the assist man, but he brings a certain energy to a team. Ja reminds me of and I'm not comparing him to AI, but I'm talking about as far as like energy, the energy he brings when he's out on the court. So yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Like, I got my Lakers, of course, winning the series. Congratulations on game one. Like I said, I'm not gonna be on here too much longer. I'm gonna get up out of here because I want to get back to watching the games. I'll be back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. But before I leave, I did want to bring this bit of news. It's kind of like in the show off on a good note. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's that article? Okay, here. Oh, yeah. Bills safety, DeMar Hamlin. If those who are not familiar with him, Bills safety last year that had collapsed on the football field last year. Pretty much like a mini heart attack or whatever you want to call it. He has been cleared to return back to playing football. I think that's a real good feel good story. I'm glad that young man, first of all, is okay. For you to be that young and have that kind of a medical issue on such a grand stage and playing a game that you love to play, a game you've been playing since you was a kid. So congratulations to DeMar Hamlin, who has been cleared to return back to football. Hopefully he's able to get out of the field and continue the success he was having. I think he was having a pretty good year. But congratulations to him from recovering from his injury. Oh, how you doing, Miss SC? Yeah, see you then. Yeah, Miss VS. I'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. I'm trying to get into doing these on a regular basis. Trying to keep them under 30 minutes. No music. Just a little intro, little outro. Break down the sports news of the day that I think is relevant, and we're gonna kind of keep. We're gonna grow. I'm happy. I started out. My first show. I think I had 5, 6 subs. I think I'm up to like 12, 13, 14. So yeah, we're growing. We're growing. Like I said, I want to do this the right way over here. Now y'all know what I do on the other side, for those that do know. But over here, I wanted to kind of keep this clean. How you doing, Miss Murph? I want to kind of keep this clean over here. I am still thinking of the prospect of having a co-host. Like I said, probably the biggest challenge I'm gonna have doing that is locking down someone that has a is open to the kind of like the scheduling what I'm trying to do as far as this. Like I'm trying to do it Monday through Friday. Try to do it around the same time. Yeah, thank you. Consistency, you will grow. I'm having fun doing the shorts. Like I said, I enjoy doing my sports talk. I do want to get back to the games because I think Cleveland and New York is going to heat up. Matter of fact, let me peek in real quick, see what the score is. Okay, let's see. Celtics up 13, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Cavs look like they're gonna smoke the Knicks. They up 20, but New York has a chance to kind of get back in the game. Hopefully. But hey, let me get up on out of here. Like I said, I want to get back to watching the games. Thank you for everybody for coming out, like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And what's my phrase? Y'all know the phrase that pays over here with me. Truth sounds like hate to people that hate the truth. And I'm out.